Information radiators are also a very, very important concept in Agile. Most people are visual and they can absorb a lot more information visually than in any other form. Alistair Coburn came up with this concept when he was working on crystal methodology years ago, and it's become kind of a cornerstone to Agile. The purpose of information radiators are to radiate in paper form things on the wall, right, so that people can absorb them. So they could be things like the burn up chart, burn down chart, release plan, project status, roadblocks, risks, your story card wall, your architecture, anything that is important for the team to understand, to convey, to support the work that they're doing. Another important part of information radiators is it needs to be, the only way it works is if it's cheap and simple. So if I have a post-it note up on the wall and that post-it note says something and I don't think it's right, I have a duty to actually update that information as an employee or as somebody for the client. And if it's something fancy, let's say somebody did a fancy PowerPoint or drawing and they printed it and it's wrong, now the cost to change is great. I have to interrupt someone and say, hey, can you update this? This isn't correct. But if I can just take the accountability for going up and ripping up the post-it note and throwing it away and putting the correct information up, the cost of change is a lot less. So that's why sometimes it looks sloppy when you see all the stuff around the room and you're like, gosh, it looks like kindergarten again. Well, in a way, it kind of is. We hang all our homework up on the wall for everybody to see and for everybody to absorb. So it's also nice to kind of have some nicer signs up for people that don't understand Agile. One of the techniques we do is we take signs and we put them in picture frames and we hang them up. So we'll say, all right, the purpose of this information radiator is to convey the status of the project, and are we getting through the cards in a fast enough manner, and what's our pace? The purpose of this information radiator is to convey risk, so that we can manage it, talk about, and discuss it. So having a couple nice looking pictures on the wall to kind of convey that all the clutter you see around it is actually valuable to us, and this is the purpose of it, usually helps corporations and companies accept that a little bit better. Even coming into the room, I like to have a sign just explaining what an information radiator is. So before they even get into the room, they're like, okay, I kind of get the fact that all this stuff on the wall is important and why they actually have it up there. One of the challenges is that there's too much information to radiate. So you don't, teams need information sometimes, and sometimes they don't. So one of the practices I like to do is that on your stand-up meetings, say, on Friday stand-ups, after the stand-up, everybody takes 5 minutes and we kind of peruse the room and we look at all the radiators and we make sure they're still adding value. One way to know they aren't adding value is if they aren't changing. Okay, so if you're having discussions about things and you're changing, you're updating it, that's probably serving its purpose. If it became just a poster or just something to show, and it's really not adding value to the team, then maybe we need to free up that wall space so we can put more radiators up. So again, it should look sloppy, it should be fun, it should be easy. Tape, yarn, bingo daubers, post-it cards, ribbon, go to a craft store, buy a bunch of stuff and let people radiate out what's in their minds. And then through radiating out what you believe to be true, the team will let you know what the reality of that is. So that's the purpose of information radiators. And again, if you aren't doing it, it's one of the cornerstones of becoming Agile.